This is a reading of Brenda's blog titled, It Really Is All About You, posted October 12, 2020. Dear ones, you are likely stuck and have no idea how to move from one place to another. You have tried the techniques so often touted by New Age gurus: breathing, meditating, writing, requesting assistance, and yet you feel as if your world is crumbling. What was is no more, and what is remains too nebulous for you to attach meaning or your life to. Is it a world of fear and heaviness, or a world of light? Is it as prophesized, or as you are now experiencing it? The heaviness you feel is compounded daily by your political, personal, media news, and experiences. Where is the joy? Where is the fun? But then, once joy and fun re-enter your life, you'll forget the pain you are now experiencing. This pain is not what you expected after experiencing life after earth life of pain, preparing for creation of this new earth. Even though you knew you would be tested almost beyond endurance in this life, you expected that testing to stop once you and the earth transitioned beyond 3D. Yet, like a bad movie, you seem to be traumatized over and over again via the media, your neighbors, friends, and relatives. There are so many lines drawn in your sand that others seem to cross, creating havoc in your emotional inner world. So it is you are again traveling the sometimes unpleasant road of discovery as you uncover more and more of who you are. Many of you voiced that discovering self-love would be your next stage without realizing what doing so actually meant. Self-love is not about merely voicing the words, but also clearing those personal self-doubts, fears, jealousies, and hate that have attached to your being. You did much of that clearing before helping the earth shift beyond 3D. The pieces you are now grappling with are those that are directly related to you by you. For as you experienced life after earth life, you collected self-hate. Most often, when any earth life trauma occurred, you became angry at the instigator. At the same time, you withheld a piece of self-worth from yourself. If I hadn't been so stupid, this wouldn't have happened. If I hadn't selected this family before birth, this wouldn't have happened. And on and on. Maintaining rage within and without. The dust bunnies you're discovering within your being are much more about your self-worth screaming to be let out than rage at another. But as you have been trained to do for eons, many of you are turning that self-rage into a battle against COVID, a political party, your home, community, family, and friends. You're enraged at the world because you are afraid to go within, to discover those hidden pieces you did not know existed until now. Self-love is focusing your energy on those hidden pieces. Even though these hidden self-love pieces are not as dramatic as was true when you cleared the 3D world, they feel equally heavy. Not because they are, but because you thought you were home free. That you had cleared every piece necessary to live in joy. And so you will. And so you are. We are merely describing your anger and why it is occurring. The anger piece will clear in a few days. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, knowing it is a culmination of eons of hiding from yourself. And because you have experienced earth life throughout the spectrum from functioning as a wonderfully loving being to cruelty by you, beyond anything you can now envision, it is time for you to let go. And so you are. In rages, anger, fear, jealousy, and sometimes just pure spite. You feel as if you have cleared more than anyone of the earth, that you have sacrificed for eons to be where you are emotionally, spiritually, and physically. We must remind you that forerunners were initially going to exit the Earth once you've helped the Earth move beyond 3D. That plan changed once you decided en masse to remain long enough to experience a world of love and peace. With that decision, you agreed to clear the elements on which you are now focusing. The second and third and beyond waves following you cleared many of the pieces you are now addressing before entering Earth in this lifetime. You are doing double duty, as it were. But such does not mean that this rage will last for years, months, or even weeks. Allow yourself to experience what you need to experience, despite believing that 3D you had left the building. Allow yourself to be. This is a clearing you're allowing yourself to undergo because your major role of helping the Earth transition to 3D is complete. And there are enough awakened second and third wave beings for you to move to the next step. You have retired from helping the Earth transition. The Earth and its beings are in the good hands of the second and third waves. So, it is finally time for you to clear those pieces you no longer wish to remain within your being. Pieces necessary to complete your roles in previous lives, but are detrimental to your new being. An example might be that perhaps you once focused on stopping an enemy from entering your physical Earth domain, but by doing so you harmed or had others killed. So you might have been touted in history as a wise and wonderful leader. Yet your inner being held you accountable for those maimed or killed in your name. Or you might have been one of those maimed or killed. And so you harbored hatred towards the leader who initiated that battle. Both pieces you likely hid deep within you once you exited that life. And so it went. Life after Earth life. You have already addressed most of those pieces, but not all. For it is difficult to experience peace and love when you're harboring anger against yourself. This is not a months-long activity, merely an element of self-love you did not expect. The world has allowed you the time to experience this in the safety of your inner being as the world supposedly rages in complete chaos. That seemingly complete chaos is no different than overturning a box of puzzle pieces that take shape as the pieces fit together. You are on your self-love journey. Other forerunners are doing the same. Those of the second and third waves are putting the puzzle pieces together, so that once you clear those last pieces of self-love, the world will be in a different place. And so will you. So be it. Amen.